Hello everyone and welcome to the Kickabout podcast. We are 3 days shy of Christmas. Dan was just telling us how much he's looking forward to Christmas and how much he loves gift giving.
He loves it. Absolutely loves it.
There is another gift that I need to give to you guys, and that is an updated running order for tonight. We're going to start with Sunderland 1, Newcastle 0.
And I'm gone.
You thought you were getting away with it.
Yeah.
We need a comment. We need something from you.
Shit. That's all I can say.
Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 1 at the weekend. No, in all seriousness, talk me through your emotions over that weekend from that match. Because Voltamada, what a header.
Great finish.
The thing is, if that's in the other goal, you think it's goal of the season with a header like that. But we just approached it just all wrong. Just there was no fight, desire, or anything towards it, and it was awful. I was just watching it just through like my hands, just like what is going on. Just,
were you at work or were you?
Yeah.
Oh, you were.
I had my.
Did you go and beat up any?
I had my. I had my break at the time of the game, so I was like, brilliant. Watch it. Wish I bloody hadn't. It was awful, absolutely awful. But the thing is that it wasn't like Sunderland were that good either.
No, it wasn't.
We
a
were
good
just
game.
We were just even more rubbish than they were. They were just slightly less rubbish.
Well, why weren't you that rubbish this weekend?
Game of the year so far,
hell.
I'd say that one. Between us two.
It did make me laugh. They did the photo at the end of the game.
Who did?
Sunderland.
Newcastle, when they beat Sunderland, they all got a team photo.
In
And
the
then
goal.
Sunderland did exactly
Oh,
the
did
same
they?
thing.
I'm a big fan of that. That's a level of pettiness I can get behind.
And also the
Not
pettiness,
original though, are they? It's not original. Get your own things.
Not having your name or badge on the scoreboard, just having visitors.
Oh yeah.
Oh no,
Did
really?
they?
Sunderland 1, visitors 0.
It's because they're making up for when we played them in the FA Cup the season prior, and they just rolled out the red carpet for us, and they changed all of their directors' box to black and white, saying "Away the lads," like the Geordies say it instead of the Mackhams. So I think they kind of remembered that and thought, well, maybe we shouldn't pay as much respect to them as we should do.
Footballers have long memories.
Oh,
Sort of
there's
thing,
a
what
there's a
football
lot of
clubs do.
pettiness when it comes to St James's Park. I hope it's the same level of pettiness.
I like that in a
the other way.
derby. I think that's how it
It
should
should be.
Yeah,
absolutely. No,
Because I feel like
absolutely.
derbies have lost their magic
Edge.
a little bit over.
Yeah.
And I think you'll never really get that edge back because that's just not the way the game is played anymore. But I think pettiness outside of it should be very much encouraged. Things like, turning the heaters up full
Yeah.
blast in the away change room, that sort of shit.
It's
needs
old
to come
school,
back.
isn't it?
Cold showers.
Cold showers.
Yeah. But that's
Ireland
after the
put a thing
game,
up.
though, innit?
Who did they play last week? They had cold showers there, and he was like, "Thanks for the cold showers."
Who was that?
Ireland. I don't know who they play. I can't remember their program. But he put it up on like his.
Wasn't it Palace?
Might have been. He put it up on his socials afterwards.
Oh dear. But anyway, apologies if everyone's hearing clinking of glasses. We are, as it's 3 days before Christmas,
Yeah,
and
Merry
some
Christmas.
some of us are not working anymore.
Well,
No, just me.
just you.
Just you, man.
Sorry, guys. But yes, so you might hear some clinking glasses along the way. But we are going to talk, obviously, about the stuff that happened at the weekend. Aston Villa against Manchester United is top of our running order this evening. Well, to be honest, mate, I actually thought you played quite well.
Yeah, we weren't too bad.
Yeah. You're saying that as you drink wine.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't a bigger goal being taken out of that.
But no, I genuinely thought it was actually a game that was played by both teams in the right way. Both teams were going for it. And it
And
was
we played the
another
whole game with 10 men.
What? Hey, who am I thinking?
Adu Garte on the pitch.
Ah, okay, yes, okay.
Wasn't there a stat that came up and it was like when it first about the game about to start, and it was like has lost the last 6 appearances he started, and then it made it 7 out of 7 on this one.
Doesn't surprise me. He's so bad. He's useless.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking, didn't we, about like how long it was going to be until he got a yellow card. He did last until about an hour.
Yeah.
So by his standards, it was quite good. But no, I thought United probably were quite unfortunate to get a point out of this game. It was another game where Villa,
It was game of moments, wasn't it?
yeah, and then
Rogers
Morgan Rogers
First half,
continually.
I literally said, like, we keep doing it. We're almost the better team, and then all of a sudden we'll concede just before half-time. We've done it, I think, every single game I've watched around here. We concede just before half-time. Like against Wolves, we're 1-0 up. Just before half-time, we go and make it 1-1. It's like, I mean, it was a screamer from Rogers, and he's in top form at the moment. But we still gave him way too much space.
I was going to say, if you've been critical, Euro's got to do more.
Yeah.
I will say as well, I didn't watch the game, I only watched the highlights, but the highlights made it look like it was more Aston Villa in the first half and that you was lucky that Heaven made a couple of good challenges.
No, I don't think so. I think in terms of, I guess in terms of chances, Villa had the better chances, definitely, but we had a lot more of the ball.
Okay.
There was a stat that came up in the first half. We'd had 75% possession.
Oh, really?
But the problem is we just don't do anything with it. Like, it was starting to piss me off. We're 2-1 down, and Dallow's doing long throws, and Martinez has just stood there and goes, "Thank you very much." I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
I didn't realise he's actually quite a throw in,
Yeah,
isn't he? He gets it
yeah.
right in the box.
The corners as well. Like, I think I counted about 6 of our corners. Martinez just stood there, taller than everyone, catches it, and then they're on the counter attack. And I'm like, I just don't understand what the plan is. Like, it's almost like Sunday League level, where it's like, yeah, just kick it in there, and hopefully someone will get their head on it.
Put it in a cement mixer.
Yeah,
see
do you know
what
what I mean?
happens.
There's no plan. Like, you watch Arsenal, and they have a plan for every single set piece, and that's why they score so many. Whereas with us, like, it's literally that. Get it in the cement mixer and see if someone can get their head on it. And we didn't have Delit, we didn't have Maguire, we didn't have
I was about to say, you didn't really
Casemiro.
have your tallest
Nobody can
players,
actually head the
really.
ball.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a makeup of a side for that sort of thing. We'll start with this chat. We'll talk about Villa first before we talk about United. Do you think that, or how close do you guys think we are to talking about Villa as being almost an elite club now, rather than just a club that's maybe punching above its weight? You know, 7th, 4th, and 6th in the last couple of years, looking very much like they're going to finish at least top 4. You would think at the moment they're doing well in Europe again. With Emery at the helm, you know, are they a club now that we can almost put into that top 6 bracket now? You know, that sort of like traditional top 6, as they always say in England, it constantly changes. Should Villa be part of that now?
I think they deserve to be in there more than like Spurs now.
Yeah,
What have Spurs done? Like,
You couldn't wait to
recently,
say
apart
that,
from
could you?
winning,
He was like, my time to shine.
they finished 17th last season.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think they've become a very consistent team in terms of finishing up there. The only thing that will hold them back is the amount that they're allowed to spend.
With that changing now, I don't know how it's changing, but it is changing. Will they be able to spend more?
Because a lot of it's under the UEFA side of things, isn't it? That's stopped them.
If they keep playing in
They do
Champions
good.
League every year, then
I mean,
that's
they
gonna
have
help.
good recruitment by the end of it. Like we've always said, haven't we? Like when it comes to a transfer window, they always seem to do quite shrewd business, and they always seem to get good players in there. What I think will muck them up eventually is a striker.
Yeah, I was going to come on to that. Obviously, Morgan Rogers is the one that's taking the headlines at the moment with his clutch moments. I mean, 2 in this game. He did 1 against West Ham. He did Leeds as well early in the season.
I brought him into FPL now, so he won't be scoring.
Oh, okay, fine. Well, sorry, Villa fans. But yeah, I mean, how much? To me, it feels like he's escaping criticism a little bit, Watkins, because he doesn't feel like it's being talked about a huge amount. But I did a little bit digging on his stats. You know, outside of the 2 goals that he scored against Brighton on the 3rd of December, you've got to go back into the 28th of September for his last goal, which was against Fulham in a 3-1 win. And his only assist this season was in the game against United. So what's going on here? Is he getting away with
He's never
this?
really, striked me as a striker anyway, to be honest. I don't think he's clinical
I think he's
enough.
more of like a supporting role.
Yeah,
sort of guy,
and when he
leading
was at Brentford, he was a winger. I think he'd probably be better off off the left or something like that. He doesn't. Whenever I see him, even against us, he went clear through on goal, and he just didn't really have that confidence that he could
Is that
score.
where he turned back in? On
Yeah,
himself?
You
and
don't think he's got that
tackled him
clinical
and-
sort of edge? to
Yeah,
it?
I think a lot of strikers that are
Lacks
in
composure,
form.
doesn't
Yeah, a lot of strikers would have just hit that with their left foot. I think. And
Yeah.
Do you think that's just a lack of confidence, maybe? Because when he scored the goal against Holland, that was clinical. It
Yeah,
was more of just
yeah.
like an like you
He
said,
looked shocked when he scored it, though, didn't he?
I think we all were when he did that. But I think that's the only thing that might let them down a little bit, because when they had him and Duran, they were almost competing against each other, so they had to be on top form, and they were banging in goals for fun at that point.
It also felt like at times that the Villa crowd were getting a bit frustrated with him.
Mm.
There's a few times where his touch was letting him down, or he was losing the ball, whatever, and it felt like the fans were. It wasn't just like you're grown that accompanies when people lose the ball. It felt a bit more like, oh, for fuck's sake, Watkins, like, come on.
I'd be quite annoyed if I was that Guessand as well, because Villa kept him from going to the AFCON.
Yeah, and then gave him 20 minutes.
7. He came on in
Oh,
the
was it
83rd
7?
minute. Yeah.
But that could be something that they look in January, potentially, if they can spend the
I
money.
don't know if because they brought in loads of panic loans and stuff, didn't they, in the summer?
Sancho being subbed on and then subbed off in
Yeah.
the same game.
Sounds like he's coming
Lindelof.
back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what annoyed me as well. They had Lindelof at the bat and we scored 1 goal.
Good defender he is, mate.
Yeah, wasted at United, wouldn't he? Yeah, the Harvey Elliott one, by all accounts, the reason they don't want to play him is because they've got a clause in there that says
There's an
they have to-
obligation
it's an
if it's
obligation if he plays like 10 games. So I don't know how many he's played.
But what was the point in signing that sort of
player if you're not
deal
going to do
if
it.
Proper panic.
you're not going to use it? Like,
I can only think that Emery's seen something in training and whatnot that he just doesn't like and doesn't want to fit him into the team. But whatever is going on, unless he goes back in January, he is literally doing nothing for the rest of this season and sitting there doing nothing
It'd be better off going back to Liverpool, I think.
and trying to go somewhere else potentially.
They've got quite a lot of injuries now, and obviously players gone to AFCON, etc.
Yep. There's one that I'm sure is. Yeah. Just turned around and saw the big smile.
I bet you
yep.
got a boner when that happened.
Sat there going, "I'll talk dirty."
We'll talk about it later.
Sees the stretcher come out, and he's like, oh.
Pours himself a beer.
What do you think I brought him tonight?
So yeah, obviously, me and Dan talked about Villa last week in terms to potential title credentials. Lee Shearer, do you have any opinions on how far you think they can go this season?
I think they'll definitely stay top 4. But I don't think they're good enough to. They're not as good as Man City and Arsenal.
Even though they beat Arsenal.
I don't think throughout the whole season. I don't think they'll keep up. I just don't think their squad's quite strong enough.
I don't know how long they
And can Morgan Rogers keep doing this?
Yes.
They're relying so heavily on him scoring. If he keeps doing this, then yeah, fine. But I can't see it happening.
Like I said, for me, it's the lack of a striker. I think if they get somebody in January to be able to fill that void, we've got no idea how far they could push it. But I said, I think, like Lee said, I think Arsenal and City are going to be your top 2, and then
This is the
I don't
first
see-
weekend where City had looked
I think they're
somewhere near where they used to be.
I mean,
they fucking played us for Christ's sake.
No, but they
I think the
I
players.
know they
But they're-
played you,
they're
but they
putting
played with a
training
bit of swagger.
Yeah, and they're putting
they-
teams to the sword.
I think
now.
the starting 11 when you got like Shekri, Reinders, and Foden, when they're all singing in like harmony, it's unreal. It is unreal. It's just that, like you say, have they got enough off the bench to be able to continue the whole season that way? But yeah, they are enjoyable.
So, yeah, as far as Villa go, I think you're right. January's big for them because they clearly do need a little bit of extra help.
And they got
as well.
Europe still,
Especially
haven't
as
they?
I say, if they go deep in the Europa League, that's going to
Which they should do, really.
And obviously, if Morgan Rogers, even if he picks up a knock for a couple of weeks, that could derail things quite quickly. Because it doesn't. Looking at their team, I'm thinking, well, who else is scoring their goals in that team? Daniel Marlon's contributed 1 or 2 here and there.
I'd play him over Watkins at the moment, to be honest.
He's not a striker either, is he? But I know he's doing better than Watkins is. But
It's not just Rogers' goals either. It's a lot of their good stuff comes through him.
he's very good at keeping hold of the ball. He does remind me a little bit of Bellingham. I know we've compared Bellingham with us.
The same sort of style, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the swagger, the arrogance of it all,
Palmer
which is
might be
good.
getting left behind at this rate.
Could be. Not done anything. I know he's been injured most of the season, but a few bits he has played recently isn't really. He's not up to speed yet. But.
No.
Still time, of course. Well, let's talk about United then, because actually, all jokes aside, I did think it was another quite impressive display from a attacking point of view. But again, it's that sort of off-the-ball lapses of concentration and defensively that's...
we're so bad.
Yeah, it just keeps happening. But we'll talk about the positives first before I let you loose on the negative side. Another goal for Cunha.
Yeah.
2. Although he should have really got another, shouldn't he?
Good
with that
goal,
header.
actually, but yeah, he should have.
The header, he should obviously... The Dorgu's cross was unreal for him. He's really just got to score that.
That's actually an easier chance than the one he scored. I think.
Yes, agreed.
He pissed me off a bit in the second half as well. Sorry, you were talking about positives.
He literally gave you the time to have just a nice talk about it, and you've just gone straight into the negative
help
again.
To be fair, I was almost done.
Is that where the positives end, was it?
But no, I mean, I thought individually, I thought Mount is beginning to show a little bit
I
of
think
form.
Mount's been good this season.
I didn't. Sesko was quiet again, but
Worth
I didn't.
every penny.
Sesko was quiet again, unfortunately. But I still think that I've seen enough from him to think that maybe he can progress into something.
It was always
But
going
then
to
I
be
said that
time.
about
for
Hoyland
Been a
when
lot
he
better
first
than
came.
Hoyland was for us.
Yeah.
Do you think Fernandes pulled up and then he stayed on? I think that was ridiculous because that first goal, I know he doesn't always track in that anyway, but they literally walked past him and he just watches them go because he's like hobbling about.
That's the sort of player
What's
he
the
is,
point
though.
in staying on? Just come off.
The manager should be
'Cause
intervening at that point.
Yeah.
Amorim should have pulled him off. Like, I would do
Well,
the same though. I hate, you know how much I hate going off. I tried to come back on with ACL, but I'd be exactly the same with that. Like, you never want to miss any part of the game. So I get why he did it, but you've also got to be a team player, and he was a bit selfish in that moment.
Yeah. I don't know what the outcome of him is. Are we talking weeks?
Well, they said it was soft tissue, so
too bad then.
yeah.
Obviously, the conversation just continuing with United is it's just again about consistency and about what's working and what isn't. It's so difficult to kind of pinpoint where United's direction of travel is, because they'll have a game like against Bournemouth where if you look in isolation from the attacking point of view, I thought they were outstanding. You know, they created so many chances, put a few of them away as well. I mean, you scored 4 goals and not won the game. Obviously points to where the problem is. So what needs to change? Is it personnel? Is it tactics?
Bit of both, I think. I think midfield really needs. I think Martinez, when he went in midfield, was so much better than anyone else has played in midfield.
Ugarte needs to go in the
yeah,
middle.
he's useless. But Martinez obviously is that defensive mind. Like, there's a few times he just nicked the ball off their players, and then we're a counter attack. And he doesn't. Because recently we've started hitting these 90-yard balls diagonally, and it's just stupid. Whereas Martinez is keeping the ball, passing it to feet, and we need more of that. It's just. We just drop points in stupid games that I'm not saying that necessarily we deserve to win, but games on paper we should be winning, like the draw against you guys, losing to 10-man Everton. Bournemouth, should have been winning that game. Forest, where we drew a 1-1 or 2-2.
You turn a few of those into wins.
Exactly.
All of a sudden you're knocking on the top.
Yeah, we're talking about us as a title challenger.
Well, I don't know. Hang on, be steady.
But we'd be up there points-wise.
We'll say though, do you think, if it was someone like Dyche or Moyes or someone in charge of United with the record that Amorim's got, do you think they'd still be in a job?
I think the fan pressure will be a lot higher.
Yeah, it's difficult as well because obviously they're new owners and they sacked Ten Hag to bring in their own manager. So I feel like they're almost sticking with him to sort of save themselves face. Yeah.
Because although you've looked better recently, and you're doing okay in the table, but you should be better than what you are. I don't know. I just feel
definitely.
Like you're nowhere
I think
near where you should be still.
Because this season we've got a 41% win percentage, which is shit, really. But I think what's helped is the fact that we beat you, we beat Liverpool, beat a couple of the teams up the top. But it's just teams like
just random performances,
teams like West Ham and stuff that we're struggling against, and we're losing points. And for a moment, I thought we were going to fuck up against Wolves. We went 1-0 up, we dominated the first half, and then we conceded just before half time. And I thought, here we go. This is where Wolves fucking get their first win of the season.
When you look at United, as Lee says, it is kind of weird that we're talking about them in a way where actually it feels like they're not actually performing to their level. Whereas in previous sort of seasons and times, you actually think that no, they're just shit. Whereas now it actually feels like they're not. They just got to sort their concentration and focus out defensively. And actually, they probably could push up the league and start knocking on the door of Europe again.
I agree with you. I think if you sort that midfield out, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's just, everyone just walks straight through the middle of you all the time.
Yeah. I mean, even watching
you can't
Villa,
play Fernandes where he plays.
No,
I'm sorry,
no.
he can't play.
He wants to still play in that number 10 position, and he disappears. Casemiro hasn't got the legs to cover that entire midfield himself, and you get.
If you had like a
gaping holes there.
Caicedo or somebody in there,
or like an N'Golo Kante,
yeah,
would be
someone who's
perfect.
got legs and energy, just to keep, even like maybe even a Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not really got the quality, but
He's
got the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I mean
about-
that's what Ugarte was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But he's just not very good at it.
Do you think that your season would be looking considerably different if you had got Belieber in the summer?
Well, if you look at his
Not,
form,
yeah, not, I was going to say not
Honestly,
this season's.
The only game
Belieber.
he performed in was the game against Newcastle, and I've not seen him since. Honestly,
Against us, he was dreadful.
I watched him at Brighton, and he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Not seen him since.
Well, have you seen who we're massively linked with for January?
For an CDM role?
Well,
I've seen you were linked with Gallagher.
Semenyo is who we're.
Oh yeah,
linked
I mean
with
to
the
be fair, you
most.
need a winger.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
you're
another
in-
number 10.
They haven't got as many wingers as Chelsea. Though,
No,
have
they need a winger because they don't play them.
Yeah.
Put him as a
that's very-
fullback.
I mean, to me, that just feels like they're just linking him for the sake of it. He's
Or
going
to up the price tag of him.
Maybe
I wonder if it's more his agent rather than
Just
actually
drumming up
us as a
business
club,
with it.
Yeah.
trying to.
We're always the go-to ones. Like, just say he wants to go.
Just
to
say
United.
just
them
say
mugs.
United's interested.
create a bidding war
Yeah.
and go from there. So, but yeah, no, it is a strange one. I think that United actually it's not all doom and gloom as it has been in previous seasons for sure. Like, but wind the clocks back 12 months, and Dan's persona and attitude towards May Night games was considerably different to what it is this season.
Yeah, well, we're 7th in the league, so you know,
Can't
after-
complain too much, can you?
After last season, like I can't really complain, but at the same time, like I said, you know, if we'd been winning some of these games, we'd
Feels
be
like missed
top four.
opportunities. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
because the problem is, it's easy for me to say we're 7th, but you know, 1 or 2 points, and so are like 10 other teams. It's so close. Everybody keeps
Well,
beating each other.
We've been terrible the last 4 games, and we're still 4th.
Yeah, I think the pack's a lot closer to
It's
you.
so
now as
inconsistent,
Well,
Well,
isn't
the
it?
top 3 are pulling away,
Yeah.
aren't they? And then 4th down to
yeah, because
whatever.
Villa are
That's 16,
Villa are
17.
It's about
West
5
Ham are now,
points.
obviously, we'll talk about them in a
Yeah.
minute. But West Ham are now in that
yeah,
breakaway,
you're-
but in the
you're
wrong
pulling
end of the
away,
table.
yeah.
We're pulling away, yeah. See that, boys? You keep going.
We'll hold you up. We'll
Yeah.
hold you up. Come on.
you need this game to stay like this, really.
Yeah,
I think
It's a
Fulham-
pen, isn't it?
Looks like it. Is that a bit of a dive?
I think he's pointing to the spot.
He
Right,
gets
you
the
got
ball.
ball.
No,
Yeah,
it's here.
Oh, well,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah, that's probably is a pen. They're not going to. VAR's not going to overturn that, is it?
Did you
But
give
Doug-
it then? Or?
Yeah.
he's giving it. Yeah,
right.
Douglas Luiz give it away. Right, okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the
winning
game
at
at
home
St
anyway,
James's Park, Newcastle against Chelsea. Voldemar obviously put his disappointing week last week behind him with a brace. I'll start with you, Shearer, to talk about the game. Voldemar probably been one of the better signings.
Big
this
Nick
season.
energy.
Is he at the point now where he's sort of proved himself enough that to think, right, he's the striker we need to start building around now, do you think?
He's a great player, and I think the best thing about him is that not only can he do these little finishes that he can do, is that his all-round play is really good. He can hold it up. He can do little short one passes. He's got skill, head, volley, whatever you want him to do, he can do. I would like to see him and Visser maybe play together. I think it would be a little bit of a different dynamic. Somebody who can run in, be that poacher. Somebody who can drop in and play in behind with Voltemada. But when you've got somebody like Gordon who actually turned up in this game, it was the best game he's done all year with the cross that he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, with the balls and stuff that he was actually delivering, it was his best performance. And then we got 2 goals from it.
Yeah,
Like I said, he was involved
should have
in.
got that hat trick though, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One where he slid in, and I don't know how he got it wide from there.
But like I said, his finish percentage is quite good. I think it's like 80% of his shots go in for a goal, so it's been pretty good. He's
Is that at both
clinical.
ends?
100% on the other end, mate. One shot, one goal
Sorry,
on that end.
I couldn't resist.
I wonder if he'll win goal of the month for Newcastle with that one.
I tell you what now.
He'd win it for Sunderland.
Sunderland are putting that on their goal of the month compilation on
imagine.
Twitter, aren't
If
they?
they do,
That's going to be in it.
if they do,
That's
I'll
gonna win
rage.
it.
You guys know I don't bite normally, but that I would
The
go
best, I saw so
mad.
many pictures of Voltemada in a Sunderland shirt.
Honestly, like, I just had to stay. Like, you know, when you have like a detox, I just had to stay away from social media for like 48 hours. I was fuming. Like, there's a couple of guys who I've played football with who are Sunderland fans, and they were just giving me so much abuse. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. But like I said, Voltemada, for the fact that that's happened, and then he's been able to put himself in there and still get 2 goals. Great for him. I think that's exactly what he needed to do.
Well, Dan took him out as FPL this weekend, so
that probably helped
that's-
things,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's given him the boost that he needed.
Yeah, no,
Um,
he did really well. And first half, I thought we were unbelievable. I think that's probably the best half of football we've played all season.
Well, this is it. I mean, it felt like all the pressing that you were doing, the kind of the atmosphere within the
It was
ground
back
as
to what
well.
we were good at, is
Yeah.
that press.
It felt like a bit of a blitz in that first half.
I think it helped that all we wanted to do was moan at the referee. That was doing my head in.
Yeah, well,
honestly.
it seemed
They
to
were
have worked
literally
in the
just-
end, didn't it?
Come on,
At least one of them is a pen.
come on.
Well, we
We
went
did
off.
we did
I
discuss.
was going to say, we talked about this very
Yeah.
briefly before you came up, so let's have it now then. So your view on the Gordon one then.
I think the Gordon one is 100% a penalty. I can't see it going any other way. I think the rest of them, you could be like, yeah. I think the Barnes one, he's felt it, gone down. I think Other game,
the outside of the box one.
yeah, where it could have been like red card, last man. I think
that's very soft.
Yeah.
it is soft.
That's not
but,
enough to
but
send
you've
him down.
but you've seen, but you
Seen
have
him
seen
given,
it.
but I
you
think-
have seen them.
framing your
think
face just then.
That's literally a case. He feels it and then
Oh,
he falls to
100%.
the floor.
I completely agree with you. But you see in other games, especially this year, definitely.
But
he's
I
been
agree
given.
that Chalobah, was it Chalobah?
Yeah.
Yeah, on Gordon. 100%.
And I think the reasoning as well. I think if he gives it, I think it's very hard for them to think, oh yeah, we should turn this around. But yeah,
I think Gordon just needs to get up the gym.
well, I don't know what else you can do.
No,
Honestly,
Sue for whiplash after that.
Yeah.
No, I was saying earlier
Jet
before
lag.
you come around, I said it probably is a penalty, and if
Yeah.
it was the other end, I'd want a penalty.
Yeah.
He has gone shoulder to shoulder, but he's gone in hard.
Excessive force, isn't that the
Yeah.
phrase they use in the
Yeah.
rules?
But he said, what did they say? That he was shielding the
Shielding
ball.
the ball, yeah.
See, he wasn't shielding the ball because he didn't have the
No.
ball.
And
so-
that's the issue I have with it all is that if, like I said, I think if it was against all of your teams, you'd be like, I want a penalty for that. And if it was, like I say, the other way, you'd be like, oh,
that's all I'm giving you, though. That one.
Yeah, that's the only one I think.
That's the brief ceasefire between the two of them.
but no, I think it was a good, like you say, I think a lot of the pundits were saying it's a good advert for the Premier League. It was a lot of
There's
stuff going on.
Good advert for a game of two halves as
The,
well.
the
Oh, it's
second
definitely-
half was a great game for the neutral. Like,
Yeah.
wasn't good for me.
I think Reece James's free kick was sensational.
Reece James this season has been unbelievable.
This particular the second half,
He's turning
that
out to
was
be a
a-
real leader. He's someone who is actually
would
grabbing
you
them.
say
Well,
he
that's funny.
could be England starting right back now?
He doesn't play there. He plays centre
Yeah, he
mid for
plays centre.
Chelsea.
Well, he tends to start centre mid and then he'll take Gustav and put
drifts
him
suddenly.
right back.
I think he's definitely in the conversation, right? It depends on what sort of system Tuchel wants to play, because a lot of, the more modern thing now is like these inverted fullbacks, which Reece James could do.
Oh,
with
easily.
with ease.
Easily.
But just to your point about the leadership, it wasn't that long ago that we were questioning whether or not he should be captain, not only because he was injured all the time, but just
He was getting a few silly red cards, wasn't he, at that point as well?
Was he the right kind of material? But you're right. I mean, he seems to have really knuckled down, and
He did a lovely last-ditch challenge as well at
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, that was a
He-
great
he-
tackle.
I don't know how he made up that much.
But he just, it was like he sensed like that
Yeah.
ball's going to go there. I need to get there.
yeah.
Hell of a challenge.
At the moment, it feels like this is the Reece James that we've kind of known has been there for quite a long time, but this is the first time we've really seen it
How old is he?
consistently.
26?
Really?
Yeah.
Feels like he's been around for ages.
He has
Yeah.
been. Like I said,
Well,
he was in
broke
Wigan.
through at a
Well, he
young
went to
age,
Wigan, didn't he? At
Yeah.
like 18.
And he was playing centre mid then
Yeah,
for
he was
Wigan, wasn't he? He
playing
was
mid.
banging in goals as well.
I feel with him, he's been injury free now for over a year. Maybe he's getting a bit of confidence, thinking maybe my body can cope with it,
Yeah.
and he's not as worried about putting challenges in the things.
Well,
I think
sometimes
you've
that
still
can actually
got
make
to look after him though.
He doesn't play every week,
Yeah.
and things like
Light
that.
training,
so,
maybe.
Yeah,
Not as much on now.
But actually, you were saying about like if he's getting confidence in his body, sometimes actually that helps you stop getting injured. Because actually, if you're
It's the
constantly
mentality
thinking
of it
about
all as well, yeah.
maybe you're going in half-eyed, maybe
Tensed
you're
up,
tensed
yeah.
up, maybe you're actually causing your injuries because you're not confident in your body. So yeah, obviously fantastic first half for Newcastle. Just before we switch the conversation over to the second half, what was the cause of the drop off for you? Do you think is it the sort of a tactical switch? Was it like you being conservative? Was it just Chelsea forcing it upon Newcastle? Fatigue? What do you put it down to?
I think they came out second half knowing that they needed to score the next goal. And that's what then turned the tide. I think if we then maybe get the penalty and we score it and it turns into 3-1, I think we probably would maybe go a bit more conservative still, but I think we probably would have held out for it.
Yeah.
I think maybe if we had someone on rather than Garnacho could hit a barn door, we might
Oh,
have
and
scored.
I
Do you
really
think- do you think
enjoyed
his-
watching him.
Do you think his
Especially when he
challenge
just
could have been a
ran
red?
with the ball, took a
It's one
massive
of them
touch,
orange ones, isn't it?
and
A
then
bit
just
of a-
ran the ball
it's a
off
bit
for
of
a
a-
goal kick. It was brilliant.
I was just saying to Lee, do you think his challenge on Ramsey, I think it was, do you think that could have been a red card? Bit reckless. It was over the ball. It was high. It was shin height.
Ramsey.
He's gone over the ball and he's
I think
gone
because
into
there's not as much force.
force. Yeah.
And it's one of them ones where I was just saying it's like an orange card. It's
Yeah.
like
If-
not quite a red.
I
but-
think it's one of those ones. If they maybe sent him over to the camera and really slowed it down,
Yeah, and paused
they-
it. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
then it probably would. Then it could have potentially have been. But
Honestly, he played all right, but his finishing is woeful. It is so bad.
They, I was listening to, because I think I was on the way either to Basingstoke for Saturday's game or on the way home, and they were just they were almost joking about Garnacho, almost ripping the piss out of him on TalkSport, just sort of like talking about how many chances, how many times he's got into good positions, how his finishing was just so poor. So from your point of view, Lee, does this sort of performance? How much does this performance like frustrate you when you see how good they were in the second half and you see how poor they were in the first half? Like this consistency now must be inconsistent. Sorry, must be exhausting.
We do this all the time. The amount of times this season we've had either the first half we've been brilliant, second half shit, first half shit, second half brilliant. We can't often put that 90 minutes together. We've done it against Barcelona, we've done it against Arsenal. Really only 2 times this season we've had a full 90 minutes where we've actually been decent.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Chelsea because I
know I keep going on about us being a young side, but it's getting to the point now where we can't keep using that.
Yeah,
because we've had good 18 months now where they've been together, they're maturing, and you can see that in games that they're maturing. You've got people like Reece James now who are becoming a leader. You've got Caicedo who's a monster every game.
He's a beast.
I think one of our main
Cucurella
problems...
as well.
Cucurella, yeah. He looked tired the last couple of weeks, to be fair to him. He's playing literally every game.
He's been really good, though. Yeah.
The problem is, take him out, you've got Hato, and Hato at the moment don't look good enough.
To it.
The one thing that really does annoy me is the amount of changes he makes week to week. I know he says, I need to make the changes because we're playing so many games and that. Especially at the back, there's no need to keep changing your centre-backs like he does. No wonder we're never consistent at the back.
Yeah,
it's never the same partnership.
Yeah, and it's you don't have to be a particularly clued up football person to know that changing your back four is not a recipe for building a relationship and a partnership with defenders.
I will say as well with Sanchez this season, his distribution and getting that ball.
Goal,
but he's been doing that all season, like throwing the ball out, kicking the ball out. He gets us on the move a lot quicker this season. He's not holding on to it and waiting for us to move up the pitch. He's literally getting it and distributing it straight away.
What thing though? To rewind the clock back and see what Lee was saying about him before the Club World Cup, probably.
I was close to being done for murder because I was going to drive down to that ground towards the end of last season and do him in.
Let's round off the chat on this game. Unless anybody else wants to talk about anything else regarding it. Let's talk about your managers. Both have had, let's call it mixed reviews within the media, within their own fans. So Shira, what's your feeling about Eddie Howe, and what do you think the general fan feeling is about him at the moment?
I think the general fan feeling at the minute is starting to get a little bit mixed. I think from the results that we've had, I think I've seen that we've lost 13 points from winning positions this year.
Wow, okay.
And at that point after the Chelsea game, if we had those 13 points, I think we would have been 5th. So it is a bit of a difference there. I can understand people's frustrations with it all, and some of his substitutions at times you think, why are you bringing him on at this time? Like a lot of the time he was bringing Joe Willock on instead of Ramsey. Ramsey looked pretty good in this game, and Willock was the sort of player that we maybe need to start to sell. So I can understand a lot of people's frustrations with it all. So it's a very mixed bag with the basis of the fans. But for me, you've got to keep him in that consistency, I think. And he's trying to evolve the team. He's trying to change the team, especially with the difference of forwards that we've got. I said when we had Isak, it was a very consistent team, and it was very much that's the game plan: high press, win the ball high up the field, and make your chances from there.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's almost like he's trying to be a bit more of a ball-playing team and trying to get that play a little bit cleaner and keep the possession. And we've never been that sort of team, I don't think. We've been very much get the ball, get it out quickly to the wingers, put the ball in. Whereas now you can see the players trying to slow it down a little bit. The one who I think's tried to change that a little bit is Chow since he's come in. Every ball is zipped in, is very much straight into the forward or to the centre mid to try and make it a little bit more up the pitch. But for me, I'm always going to be Eddie in. I think from where we started to where we are now is completely different. Like ages ago when we had Mike Ashley, you'd think the position that we are in now, we'd be biting your hand off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I very much feel like you can't take for granted what we've got at the minute. Yes, it's going to take time for settle. Like Voltemada, luckily, has hit the ground running. If he didn't, I think he'd be in a lot more trouble, and he probably would be on the chopping block. But now he's getting Visser starting to, like I said, he scored in the League Cup, and he's going to feature more and more often. Hopefully, it's just going to be upwards and onwards and upwards. And like I said, next game we've got United Boxing Day. I think it's the only Boxing Day feature.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when we get
You've
3
got
points.
Burnley, Palace, Leeds.
So that's 12 points then that we should get in the next 3 games.
Do well to get 12 points in 3 games.
Yeah, good maths.
It's been a long day. I've had 12 hours. But yeah, we should be getting maximum points, I think, from United, Burnley, Palace, Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the only one, I say Man United, depending on what United turn up.
We struggle against the smaller teams, to be fair.
There's a lot of fishing going on tonight, isn't there?
It's fine.
And the,
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
and the other one actually is Leeds. You know, they've been in decent nicks. They might cause you some problems, but
You know,
you
it'd be something stupid.
That was
like,
a shock result, actually, the Leeds game.
It'd be something stupid where we've been linked with Calvert-Lewin throughout the transfer window, and he'd bloody score against us.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in hot form at the moment. Isn't he?
Is. And Lee, Maresca, what's the sort of general vibe about him at the moment?
The fan base has always been very split over him. I feel there's more in than out. I wouldn't want him going. He
Does
does
enough of that as a
we need some consistency within the team, especially with a younger squad. You need someone in there who knows them, who's building them up. He does make some odd decisions and he does make too many changes, but on the whole, I feel he gets most of it right.
Mm-hmm. Still a young coach as well.
Yeah.
It's easy to
And
forget.
I mean, there was reports in the week that Man City wanted to replace Guardiola.
Do you think that would be a kick in the teeth?
If
for
he went
yourselves?
there, yes, it would be. That would be a massive kick in the bollocks because it'd be
Yeah.
like, right, okay, well, Man City, basically saying that Man City are better
His
than
voice
Chelsea.
is breaking.
Yeah.
It's the wine giving slow motion.
Yeah, no, that would be a real low point, I think, if he went to Man City.
Yeah.
Like Pochettino leaving and going to the USA, really.
Brilliant.
Right, okay. Well, since we're talking about City, nice little segue. Let's talk about Man City 3, West Ham 0. Possibly the easiest scoreline to predict of the weekend, to be honest.
Especially for you.
Yeah, I mean, in the last couple of weeks, I've done like head before or heart before head. Even my heart was telling me, don't even fucking think about it.
Don't even try it.
I wasn't even predicting the West Ham goal. Like there was nothing in this game with how we've been playing that said to me that we were going to do anything. Even after you saw what Leeds did and gave it a real go a couple of weeks ago. So I said before that I don't really want to go over old ground with West Ham because it is just fucking boring, frankly. But the point we're at now in the table in the relegation fight, it's actually becoming a very serious concern. There has been times where maybe naively, as sometimes maybe when you're a fan of your own club, you think that you get a win or get a decent result and you think, yeah, okay, we'll be all right. You can almost convince yourself that you're going to be fine.
After obviously he was playing the players in weird positions to start with, and you lost a couple, and then he put them in their right positions, and you started.
We won 2 games.
Yeah,
we beat Burnley and Newcastle.
Yeah, you started to look a bit better. You drew with us.
Yeah, drew with you. We drew with. I mean, on paper, you look at those games, and then we drew with Bournemouth, drew with Brighton. Narrow defeat to Aston Villa, who are in red hot form. So on paper, it's not that bad. But when you drill and look under the surface, look at the performances, the tactical approach to these games, it raises a lot of alarm bells. And the problem is that you look at a side like Leeds, they had a week of Liverpool, Chelsea and City, in whatever order it was, came out with 4 points. Then they fucking smashed Palace at the weekend 4-1. They're picking up points. Nottingham Forest, I know they're losing right now, but they smashed Spurs the other week. Not necessarily as a surprising result, given how bad Spurs are, but it's still a big, morale-boosting win. I'm thinking, where's West Ham's one of them? Where's that going to come from? Because even the Burnley game that we won, we scraped that. Burnley gave us a lot of scares in that game. We were quite fortunate. I know Newcastle were poor, and we ended up winning that 3-1 in the end.
Yep.
But that's the last time I'd say that we've actually properly deserved the result. The Bournemouth game, 2-0 up, don't win it. Brighton, last minute concede. Man United, very lucky to get a draw up at your guys. 2-1 up against Villa, concede straight after half time and then go on and lose the game. So we need to find a result. We've got 4 games now. We've got our next 4 is Fulham, Brighton at home. Fulham and Brighton at home. Then we've got Wolves and then Forest. So in terms of relegation and how serious I'm
Wolves
mate,
so funny.
honestly, I'm going to do a Shearer. I'm going to fucking disappear for a few weeks if that happens.
The problem is, like I said in the group the other day, I don't think there's 3 worse teams than you.
There's 2. Well, actually, no, probably only 1 at the moment.
Wolves definitely are worse.
Yeah, but there's not 2 others that are.
Oh, I see what you mean.
There's
No.
like they're not
Not
at
too
the moment. I
clear
don't see them
ones.
finishing 4th bottom
No.
because I don't see 3 teams worse than them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in this game, obviously, look, Man City was never a game that's going to define our season. They're in good nick. They're ruthless without. Well, in this game, they were ruthless without actually being particularly intense because they didn't need to be. But they had a period in that second half where they did exactly what they did against Leeds, where they took their foot off the gas, started getting a little bit sloppy, and we just didn't do anything to counter that. And you look at what Leeds sniffed that, went and got the 2 goals, and then very unfortunately conceded the third. But we just didn't do anything. And it just feels like, when I was watching the game, every sort of clearance just felt like a temporary respite. I never had any faith that actually we could go and launch a counter attack and we could go and do something on the break, because we never had anybody up there. And every time the ball just came back, we were just getting pushed deeper and deeper and deeper. And City just had the freedom of the pitch, really.
Especially with the quality of the players they have. There's always going to be.
As I say, look, in a normal scenario, if West Ham aren't in a relegation fight, I couldn't give a shit about this result, to be honest. As bad as we played, it wouldn't bother me. But this performance was still indicative of the sort of performance we've seen in other games.
That's the thing. The result ain't the problem. It's the performance.
Yeah. He keeps playing this defensive football. We don't have defenders that can do it. So at some point, you've just got to say, well, okay, well, maybe let's try and attack teams a bit more. And if we lose the game because we're going to attack them, well, we were losing defending it, so there's no real difference here. I don't know. Obviously, I've got a quote here that I found online that I thought was quite good. Quality decides whether you escape. And in defence and up front, I just, I don't think that we've got enough at the moment. The organisation and the discipline that's going to keep us alive isn't there either, because we can't do it for 90 minutes. And as you say, Leeds, Fulham, Forest, all looking like, even Burnley showing a little bit of fight to nick a goal out against Bournemouth. That was a big point for them. I don't know. We're scoring 1.1 goals a game, conceding 2. Don't have to be a mathematician to work out what that's going to end up as at the end of the season.
What does that equal, mate?
Don't ask me. BTEC maths over here. And Fulkrug's gone as well now.
So Fulkrug is a done deal. He's off to AC Milan with a loan. They're paying all his wages with I think it's only an option. I don't think it's an obligation. I think it's an option to buy. And I can't imagine why they would ever do an obligation with his injury record. So I think that's understandable. So January is massive for us. We've been linked with an awful lot of fucking shit strikers, Josh Sargent being one of them. We have been linked with Jurgen Strand-Larsen, though, quite heavily. Apparently, there are talks going on between West Ham and Wolves.
I mean, he's been terrible this season.
He has been terrible, so he'll fit right in.
Missed that penalty, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well?
Did you see the penalty?
Yeah, so bad. That's someone that's got no confidence.
Well,
If you've got no confidence, just put your fucking foot through it.
Yeah, but also, did you see his what got me was his reaction afterwards. Not an ounce of emotion or anything in his face at all.
Do you think they're just resided to the fact they're going down?
That moment in that game,
17 games, 0 wins is.
Yeah, that moment in that game.
Are they going to be the ones to get the record?
At the moment,
yeah, they're not just going to beat it. They're going to fucking smash it at this rate.
Can I just say, Derby that year when they had the lowest point tally, they got 4 points from Newcastle. So I'm fully expecting that's going to happen with Wolves.
Dr. West Ham, I've been prescribed on the 3rd of January.
With 6 points.
Exactly, because we haven't played them once yet. Yeah, so there'll be another 3 points in the reverse one. Massively important. I think we need at least one defender as well. I'll ask you guys this question: do you think Nuno can turn this around and keep West Ham in the league?
They had the same reaction.
Your confidence is very reassuring, gentlemen.
Yeah, the silence was.
The thing is, last season, there were 3 teams that were just absolutely woeful. Yeah. And although the likes of us, you and Spurs were shocking last season, we never really seemed in too much danger of going down. Yeah. Whereas this season, obviously Sunderland are miles away. Leeds are putting up a fight against teams. Burnley aren't exactly sort of walkovers.
Up and down, isn't they?
Yeah. You got Wolves, who are in that bracket of just being 3 points. You guys are almost in that bracket, to be honest.
Yeah, I find it hard to disagree. Do you think there's enough quality in the team?
No.
Do you think is it all confidence or is it quality as well?
When I watch West Ham, I just feel like he doesn't know his best team. And I think this is the problem with managers coming in partway through. They don't get that pre-season where they get to see certain players and experiment with them.
It's a long time to build up that relationship, formation, all sorts.
And I think obviously we've seen him playing players out of position and vice versa, etc. I think he's still trying to discover his best team, and he's slowly running out of time to do that.
I think you look at your starting lineup, you think, how many of them players actually get into other teams that are above you?
There's not many.
Not many.
Bowen,
Apart
the
from the
obvious
obvious
one.
ones, yeah. Maybe Paquetá when he played forward.
Yeah, I think
When he's
Areola
put a
has
bet
kept
on.
us in.
Yeah.
Areola has kept us in games. You know what you say about Paquetá though, but he has been fucking dreadful for us. He has one good game every 5. I mean, that was
against us.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The one I can't remember which goal it was, but it was one of the City goals they scored at the weekend where Paquetá was basically just stood on the edge, stood still, watching it, making no attempt to get back and help whatsoever.
I like Somerville, but he's got no end product.
No end product whatsoever. And this is why I think we need to get a player in who can help up front because we cannot just rely on Bowen to get us
You've
goals.
got a really good history of buying strikers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny Ings.
So-
Callum Wilson's done all right for you.
And he doesn't play enough though. Like he's fit, he's playing. Like just keep.
And he does
keep
well when
playing
he
him.
does play.
Yeah, and we look better with him up front because he's he's an
He's that
intelligent
leader as well, to
striker.
be fair. He's got the experience.
Well,
And
he
that.
occupies defenders, doesn't he? So
Yeah.
even if he's not doing anything specifically, he's creating.
He does
space
stuff
for
off the ball
others.
as well, doesn't
Exactly.
he? Yeah.
So Bowen can get more involved in the game, or Fernandez, to be fair to him, has been very good recently.
That Potts has been good.
Potts has been okay.
Very good.
So there's players in there. It's just defensively, like Kilman is honestly. He's up there for one of our worst signings. With every passing week that goes, he falls further and further down the list of worst signings.
Not even sure Wolves to take him back.
No, I don't think they would.
It's Juve gone now.
Juve has gone to AFCON, so
He'll
has
be in,
Wan-Bissaka.
yes.
Attacking wise, yes. Defensively, Juve is not great either.
And then you've got the opposite side, Wan-Bissaka, useless going forward, but defensively pretty useless as well.
Loves a slide chat.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He's the Sol Campbell, just slides.
Never-ending slide tackle.
thankfully, Kyle Walker-Peters is not a bad backup. But,
I would play him over Wan-Bissaka anyway,
Yeah.
to be honest.
So really interesting January ahead for West Ham. I don't know how much money we've got to spend. It sounds like we've got around about 40 or 50 million.
You could say 40 or 50p then. Look
They
down
will
the
do
back
if
of
they
the
still
sofa.
keep. If they
Who are your targets, realistic?
As in who I would want.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just in January it's so difficult to know who would actually be available because obviously January prices are often inflated if you're going after players that are playing. Dare I say? I'll give you a guess. Who do you think West Ham have been linked with in January? And it's actually turns out to be quite a serious link as well.
Premier League?
Ex-Premier League.
Mitrovic.
No,
Tony?
played for West Ham before, albeit briefly.
Danny Ings.
Mate either went to Dortmund or came from
No.
Dortmund.
Schumacher.
I think we were linked with him almost every year, but he never actually came on a permanent. He was on a loan.
Lingard?
Yeah.
Oh, behave.
That would be fantastic. Bring the band back together.
Because
If he came in.
he's left the Korean club.
Did you see he was crying on his final appearance? He played 67 times for him. He was crying on his final appearance, but he apparently wants to come back to the Premier League. And apparently his agent.
Please, not West Ham.
Fucking hell.
I mean,
That's why he was crying.
anywhere but there.
So yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to have to be
Jay
shrewd.
Ling's on there, mate.
We're going to have to be shrewd in the. There was a striker in the Dutch league that we were looking at.
Harrop?
Yes, actually, that's who it was. Yes,
Weghorst.
he's played. He's obviously done quite well for Ireland. He's done okay in the Dutch league, but Premier League is a big step.
We came from Spurs.
Yeah.
Poor lad.
But he didn't. Well, I suppose he was there when Kane was there, so he was never going to play, was he? So, yeah, I don't know. But one way or the other, we have to bring in some recruits just to give us a lift, if nothing else. And then just briefly, we'll talk about City. They're showing all the right signs of doing it again, aren't they? Hitting the accelerator at the right time in around Christmas.
Haaland's that robot again from
Yeah.
the season.
But also,
ago.
Phil Foden has found his form
He's
again.
come back in. Shekri's come back in from his injury.
Is that how you pronounce
Rangers.
it, or is that just how you pronounce
How I pronounce
I
it.
say it's
Turkey,
it's
isn't it?
RKI, not KRI.
Mate.
Shakraka.
I know I ain't been here for a few weeks, but Jesus Christ, doesn't mean that you add up to
Just
then
making
pile
up
it
for
on
lost
me.
time.
Jesus
But we don't know when we're going to
Christ.
see you again. So.
After this, well, who knows? Who knows?
But yeah, I think City are.
They seem to have a little bit of their swagger back as well, don't they?
What was really interesting, I saw that apparently their current points haul at the moment is higher than when they won 2 of their 4 titles, when they've won 4 in a row. Their current points total is higher than in 2 of those seasons at this point. So for all the inconsistencies that we've seen throughout the season, it's having a bloody good season, by all accounts.
I saw as well. Do you guys play on the Saturday?
Yes.
So Guardiola said that usually if his players play well, he'll give them the Sunday off. but he wasn't happy with how they played, so he made them come into training on the Sunday.
I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about what he thinks about West Ham. A comfortable 3-0 win.
Should have been double digits.
Should have been 9. So, right. Just quickly then, we're going to talk about... we'll actually talk about the Liverpool-Spurs game briefly, because there's been a couple of bits out of that, and I know it will cheer you up, mate.
Thank you.
To talk about this. Another poor result for Thomas Frank. 2 red cards in the game.
Stupid.
One, I mean, this is the second time this season. Wasn't the Newcastle? Was it Gordon on Van Dijk? Was that this season? So basically,
First game of the season.
Basically, the same red card challenge on Van Dijk for Xavi Simons, and he saw his marching orders quite early. And
I do think he was a little bit unlucky to get sent off.
I don't think it was intentional.
No.
But
The Gordon one was much worse than that.
Yeah, I agree. But I still don't think, despite the fact they played a lot of this game with 10, and then I don't know when did Romero get sent off?
Towards
the
the end.
That's later than that, wasn't it?
was it? I can't remember.
It was towards the end,
Yeah.
for sure.
But I still don't feel like Liverpool played that well in this game.
Well, even with 9 men, Spurs look more likely to score. didn't they?
Yeah. But yeah, Romero once again proving why he's an
I hate
absolute
him.
prick.
I hate him.
Just so unreliable as a skipper. And of course, Liverpool's record signing, your best mate, Isak. Sounds like he might have broken his leg.
It's just come up that he's had surgery on a fractured leg.
Right, so that's his season probably over, or most of it over.
Speedy recovery. I wish him all the best.
Sincerity.
They've got Sweden have playoffs to get to the World Cup as well, don't they?
Well, he hasn't really been playing for
No,
them, though, has he?
No.
Graham Potter don't like him.
He does.
Are you all right, mate? Is it getting some stuff off your chest here?
Oh, is what it is, isn't it?
He did score in the game.
Albeit that's what led to the injury, wasn't
Indeed.
it?
What's funny as well is obviously you guys give Isak a lot of stick. Visser literally did the same thing at Brentford to get a move.
I'm not being funny. I didn't say anything about this, so I didn't say it was the right thing to do.
You didn't say anything. That's the problem. You can't just claim like, wow, he's just he do what he needs to do. I'm not in control of that. Whereas Isak is like, fucking, I hope he gets ACL.
How could someone do that?
I never wished him an injury. I never said that, but it's a shame. But in all fairness, like nobody wishes anybody to have an injury like that. So
No.
in all
It looks
this,
horrible as well.
Yeah,
Like,
you do
as soon
wish-
as he did it, I
yeah.
knew
You
that
could
it
tell
was
from his
something bad.
face.
Yeah.
like,
I actually thought it was ankle when I first saw it.
I think
challenge.
when you see the still frame, like I think you can actually see like there's a bit of like bone popping, and it's pretty grim.
Yeah. So yeah, he's going to be out of. I mean, that if Sweden get through playoffs,
potentially
he
miss the
could
World Cup
miss the
as
World
well,
Cup.
yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a race.
Yeah, I don't think he'd get in there.
Um,
I say like obviously it's going to be a terrible thing for him personally, but I think for Liverpool, I
could it be a blessing in disguise?
That's what I was-
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say,
I
because
think there's so much better with
Ekitike
Ekitike. That goal he scored as well. Was nice.
just everything about him is very direct. He can run. He can just hit it. I think it will be better that he gets a bit of run of form in the team, and I think it will be better for them with that.
They're short on numbers now, though, aren't they? Because Salah's gone to AFCON.
Yep.
Obviously, Isak's injured. Cody Gakpo's injured.
Is Chiesa actually going to start a game?
Wow.
No, they'll find someone else.
Just give him 5 minutes at the end of the
They'll put one
game.
the fans in
Yeah.
before they play Chiesa. So yeah, it was an odd game, but it's another game Thomas Franks lost. I believe that is now only
Where are they in the league? I've not even
about
kept an eye on Spurs.
14th, I think.
I don't think they're.
I don't think they're that low.
Or they don't that low.
I thought they were like 8th or something.
I don't look. Below
No,
fourth.
I don't think they're top half.
14th.
Oh, well played. Well played.
One for Welch.
Gutted for 'em.
um,
Hopefully, they can go one better than last season and go 18th.
well, yeah, you say there's their 3 worst
Yeah.
teams. Maybe Spurs is one of them.
I'd take that.
So would I.
Did you see Richarlison as well after his goal?
He's
Go,
an absolute
what?
piss.
He's a
When he
twat.
pushed Ekitike's head into
Yeah.
the ground.
I think
And
I
then
saw
started on Zoboslai on the way
Yeah.
back to the halfway
there,
line.
there's something like a quote like Richarlison's got the best compilation of most meaningless goals scored.
What do you see before he scores that? The dive he puts in,
Yeah.
and then the ball comes up to him, and he gets up and obviously
Yeah, all
puts
of a
it
sudden
in.
He did
gets,
that against us as well. He's
Yeah,
a proper
he-
numpty, and
He has got to be one of the most sort of hated footballers.
Yeah.
It's not like you almost don't hate him that much because he's not actually that good.
Mm.
Like with like Diego Costa, for example, when everyone used to hate him, he was actually a really good player and would score a lot of goals and hurt teams,
Yeah.
literally and figuratively. But with Richarlison, he's just trash. What does this result do? Bearing in mind the 2 red cards and everything else in the game, and obviously Spurs did play okay even with the players down. Does this do anything for Thomas Frank's future? Does this affect it in any way? Do you think?
No.
Doesn't they?
The thing is that if they start getting into this cycle of just keep chucking the managers away and getting somebody else with a different style of play, like
They've chased every style possible
Yeah.
in recent years. None of them all worked.
the only one
When,
that was close
when
to
do you
working,
start saying, okay, maybe it's not the manager?
I mean, it was Poch, wasn't it? It was probably the most successful.
I mean,
you'd
they're still
argue.
praying that he
He
falls
come-
out with USA and comes back in the summer.
I don't think he'll be at USA after the World Cup because
No,
the way
they've been a
going
bit
up,
poor, haven't they,
yeah.
as well?
and he can't convince Son to play apparently, so, even with his connections.
Oh dear, yeah.
They've got the best fullback pairing in the world, though.
Who USA?
Yeah.
Who
Best
is it?
player in the world, and
Destin
Pulisic as well, aren't they?
Robinson.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't
LeBron
really know
James
what
of
the
soccer.
I don't really know
They've
what
got
the
Palace
answer is.
away next as well.
The USA.
Well, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know what the answer is with Spurs because as much as it is funny
Just carry on
watching
what
this,
they're doing.
As you say, if sacking the manager feels like it would be fruitless. It's not going to solve anything.
We started really strongly.
Do you know what his trajectory with this team, albeit that he's had a lot longer, is the same as when Nuno Espirito Santo was there. Do you remember Nuno won his first 4 or 5
Got manager
games?
of the month,
Got
didn't
manager
he?
of the
First month.
All right, they weren't winning pretty, but they were winning games in the same way that Frank was.
They were brilliant against Man City when they beat them. They were excellent.
Yeah.
I thought, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's just not working at the moment. So I don't think Thomas Frank's going to get sacked this side of like Christmas and the New Year. But I think if he doesn't improve his form and it continues to slide down the league, I think they're in big
I
trouble.
think the fans would turn.
Well,
Well,
they're
they
already
already have.
starting.
Yeah, they already
starting.
have.
They always do.
Mm.
Once it's not going their way, they do go
So,
for it.
right, let's move on. Leeds against Palace, just very, very quickly. We'll round out. We've sort of talked about Wolves and Brentford already, to be honest, so I'll probably give that game a skip. I just want to talk about Leeds because I want to talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin
The World Cup?
for the World Cup.
Yeah, definitely putting his name in the ring there.
I'm saying this because, like...
At least
sort
he
of-
won't have the problem of bringing a wag because he is the wag.
Yeah, exactly. He can bring his own bag and his own clothes. I say this sort of tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time, we don't have a second striker that's really in form outside of Calvert-Lewin. None of the other English... Watkins, miles off it. Callum Wilson, he's in the same bracket as Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, he's scored a couple of goals, but do we really want to be bringing him? Danny Welbeck, same thing.
Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney, yeah, I mean, he's doing all right.
He's in a prison cell, isn't he?
That's true, actually. Yeah, he's...
He headbutted. Was it headbutted someone?
I don't know.
Yeah,
something in London, wasn't it?
GBH or ABH. or something.
So England are very short of a backup striker to Harry Kane at this point.
That's right. Anthony Gordon can play in the 9, mate.
You see, Harry
Might have
Kane's
to.
finished with 60 goals this calendar year.
Wild, isn't it?
If he's not up there for the Ballon d'Or,
Yeah, it'd be criminal.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what the score is, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin has now scored in 5 straight Premier League games, which a Leeds fan hasn't seen in the Premier League since Mark Viduka in 2003.
What player he was.
That's
What
all-
player he was, by the way.
They've only been in the Premier League 1 year since, haven't they?
What do we think about their improvement? Is this just sort of like a short-term boost? Is there something that you think they can sort of continue now and maybe pull themselves further away from that relegation zone, or do you think this is a short-term boost and it's going to sort of come crashing down again soon?
I've always found it's hard to tell with teams like this because quite a lot of them,
They have
when
those
they
little-
go through a little patch,
Yeah.
they'll have 5, 6, 7 games where they look brilliant, and then all of a sudden they fall off a cliff, don't they?
So the next 4, away to Sunderland, away to Liverpool, home to United, away to Newcastle.
So yeah,
So
that's a tough run.
we'll soon find out if
Yeah.
if this is a just a purple patch flash in the pan or whether this is something they can sustain. I will say though, I do like one or two of their players. I do like Ethan Ampadu in midfield. I think he's decent. Obviously Calvert-Lewin
Ex-Chelsea, isn't he?
is doing it. Well, everyone's
Most
ex-Chelsea.
likely.
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
ex-Chelsea.
Do you know what? I was watching a match the day where Charlie went. Nearly every game was like, he used to play for Chelsea. He used to play for Chelsea. He used to play for Chelsea.
Yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is obviously doing good things. Okafor,
Stack.
Stack
That's
is,
all right.
yeah, he's been decent. So I think at the moment, Leeds fans will be hoping this continues for as long as humanly possible to keep themselves away. But if West Ham don't fucking get their act together, then they won't have to keep winning and winning and winning. So what about Crystal Palace?
I think the European games are catching up.
Has it finally got them going?
This is the worst I've seen them play.
Yeah,
for a
because even
very
in
long
Europe,
time.
they've not been very
No.
good.
They've got to go to a playoff. They were the favourites for that.
Yeah.
And Glasner's started saying he's not going to
Yeah,
renew his deal
yeah.
and stuff. So
Has that been officially confirmed?
He come out and said that he won't be renewing it.
Right. Okay.
there must be something between him and the club, maybe not going in the same direction.
I think he
I
said
think
before
it's
that they haven't
money.
supported him.
It's money, isn't it? They sold all his best players. And there's not really
Yeah.
anything
They're
funds to
probably going to
replace
end up
them.
selling Gay maybe in January.
They've got
Because
to, haven't they?
because otherwise they're going to lose
Yeah,
him for
he'll
free.
be a free agent, won't he?
The thing is, his stock is as high as it's going to get winning them cups.
Yeah, they're
now.
not
Yeah,
going
he's
to go
been linked
anymore.
with quite a few.
He's
different
not going to
teams.
not get a job, is he?
Newcastle,
Let's face it.
Liverpool, everyone.
Yeah, I just wonder what this means for Palace's season, though, because obviously winning the FA Cup last year, winning the Community Shield, riding a real kind of wave of positivity and whatnot around the club. Is there a chance now that this goes so massively the opposite way? Could this be almost like a Leicester-esque story if Glasner's I wouldn't say his head is turned, but if he's so frustrated to the point where he's now saying, "I'm not staying by the end of this year because you're not supporting me," I'm not suggesting he's going to down tools, but if subconsciously he may not care as much, do the players get that sort of vibe from him? If he's
You
not
would
staying,
do.
then
You would.
it's
do.
going to naturally sort of fade away. And I'm not suggesting it for 1 minute that they're in any danger of anything crazy here, but if they fall down the league and let's say they finished, 13th, 14th, let's say that, Glasner goes away, Gahey's gone, does that mean that Mateta also moves on?
Mateta's already
Adam-
said
this
he wants
season
to
now, to be honest.
go
He
and
has
play
been.
Champions League.
I
football.
think he'd get a move in Europe. I don't think he'd get a
What's the
Premier League.
defender?
He wouldn't get a
Munoz?
top Premier League team.
Munoz?
Munoz could
He-
possibly
He
go.
would definitely go to
Adam
another club.
Wharton.
Mhm.
These
he
are all
would definitely.
these are all
You've been
good
linked with him,
players.
haven't you,
Yeah.
Wharton? He'd be very
I
good.
would take him.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
So I think there's a
The
real danger with
problem
Palace.
you get with like Palace, for example, obviously they've had recent successes. The fans' expectations rise, and then if the club starts selling all these players and don't sort of bring new ones in, the expectations are still that they're fighting in Europe or whatever, or challenging for trophies. But I've always viewed Palace as a mid-table team. I've said it so many times where they're just always there, but they don't.
But they
do
have been,
They've
haven't
lived
they?
there for the last
Yeah.
what, 10
Roy
years.
Hodgson,
Like,
whenever he was in
yeah.
charge with them,
And
it was
they're
always
in
mid-table
12th
security,
12th
wasn't
place
it?
has been their spot,
Yeah,
hasn't
Yeah.
it?
and they're in danger of going back to that again if they do just let things.
But it's
run
so
away.
difficult with respect to teams like Palace that when they do have a purple patch, when they do find a couple of like transfer gems like Eze, Elise, all those players, and they move on, it's so difficult for a club like Palace to not only
Similar-
keep
I
those
guess
players but then maintain it once they
similar
get
to
the funds in.
Bournemouth,
Yeah,
Brighton.
the challenge of competing with the clubs at the top end of the Premier League who've got all the money just to go, well, it's not worked with this player, so let's fuck him off and let's go, right, who's in the league? Right, we're going to get Eze from Palace. Just bring him in. Go give him 70 million, it's fine. And they've got the ability to go and do that. And Palace are kind of like, well, how do we compete? Every time we get a good player, it just moves on. Because players want to play at the top level, right? They're not going to want to stay at a club like Palace. They're going to want to go and play in Champions League.
Like Newcastle and Villa have been down there fighting relegation, and now they're obviously considered sort of top teams again.
But
I
they've
feel
got
like their whole infrastructure and everything about them is a bigger club
Yeah.
anyway. Like, it sounds horrible, but
bigger stadium,
Yeah.
bigger fan base, bigger owners as well. Much more money behind both clubs.
more history.
I mean, I said with the Palace fans, it's a bit sore for them, isn't it? Because they are a good fan.
So I've got a little
base
soft
and
spot for Palace. I
I
don't
like
mind
Palace.
Palace.
They're
Yeah,
a
I
good
do.
fan base, and
Yeah.
like you said, they always have a good atmosphere there. Like you say, unfortunately, without getting a bigger stadium, without having richer owners, like
It's a ceiling,
and
isn't it?
that owner as well, isn't he the one they had the issue about going up and down with the European
Oh, he's left
competition?
now, hasn't he?
But at that point, it
Yeah.
was
he was the owner of the French team, wasn't he?
Leon, was it?
Was it Leon? Yeah.
He sold his shares.
And
hasn't
he was the reason they didn't get
Yeah.
Europa League and ended up in the conference.
Which could be a blessing in disguise, really.
Maybe.
It hasn't been so
No,
far.
well, they were favourites to win the Conference League.
Yeah,
aren't
they're
they?
like
And now-
10th in their table.
Well, they've got to go for a playoff,
Yeah.
aren't they? So they've got 2 extra games to play now.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to keep an eye on Palace. We'll see what they do in January, whether they can bring in any recruits, and maybe if they can back Glasner a little bit in January, maybe it might convince Glasner that okay, fine, they have finally backed me. Maybe this is all a ploy from Glasner to get them to do it because he feels like I hold all the cards in this. I know that I'm wanted. I know they want to keep me. So if I tell them I'm leaving, maybe they will, buck up and get it sorted. So yes, right, there we go. That is the end of our match review. We are going to finish off with our top 5 players so far this season. We're almost halfway through the season, so it feels like it's an okay time to do it. I suspect there will be a little bit of crossover, so we'll
Haven't put them in any particular order.
no,
None.
neither have I. So yeah, I'll let you
Are we going to
guys.
do one each? Or are we going
And then
to
say if we've got them in the same list.
peel them off? Or
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna go with my more out there picks,
Yeah, same.
rather than the obvious ones. So for clarity, I've not put Haaland in there
See, I
because
put,
it's just boring. I'll put him in my honourable mentions
Yeah, you
because
said
he's
5. I've done 7, and Haaland's in 6, 7 because
Yeah, 'cause- you just said it.
6th or 7th because it's just boring
Yeah,
having him in there.
yeah, he's class. We all know he is. He doesn't need to be in there to be recognised. He's a fantastic player. So my first one in there, and this will cheer Lee up. I've gone for Reece James. I think for everything we talked about earlier, to be honest, I think he's been absolutely outrageously good in every position that he's played, scoring goals, being a leader, staying injury free, and frankly, from an England perspective with the World Cup this year, I pray that he can keep this going and stay fit all the way through the World Cup. So I think he's in my top 5 quite comfortably this year. Shearer?
I'm going to go for an out there pick as well, and it pains me to say it, but I think Granit Xhaka.
Oh, he was what I had next.
I said it pains me to say it, but I think value for money.
That's big from you, mate. That is big from you.
Thank you. But you wait until I get to the rest of this list.
4 Newcastle players making the other top 5.
I think he's been so consistent, and he's probably the main reason that they are where they are. I think leader-wise, I don't think there's many better in the league. Like he's done it across being at Arsenal, he's done Leverkusen. He's a very, very good player, and I think he keeps that standards high.
Yeah, Dan?
I've gone Gabriel for Arsenal up until his.
Singer.
Oh, sorry.
She had some bangers, to be fair.
Up until his recent injury, I think he'd been one of the best players in the league easily. He was so solid for Arsenal, and actually since he's been out, Arsenal haven't kept a clean sheet.
Apart from this weekend, just gone.
Apart from this weekend.
But yeah, I know what you mean. A lot of people.
I was trying to think what the result was this weekend. I feel like it's going to bite me in the ass. I heard the stat before the game, and I was trying to think, does it still?
Yeah, it felt like Saliba was always their big player, but actually looking at the way they've been playing, that maybe it was Gabriel all along.
Gabriel's definitely more of the leader.
Yeah,
I would
was
say.
the big one. Lee?
I've gone Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, another good shout.
Been brilliant this season.
Ex-Chelsea, of course.
Yeah, and I think he was never anything flashy at Chelsea last season. Every time he played, he put a shift in, he scored goals. Unfortunate for him, he mainly played in the Conference League. But I thought he'd done a really good job when he played for us, and he's carried on this season with Everton and probably taken it to another level. I think he's probably been better than Grealish. He's probably been more important to him, and unfortunately he's injured now.
To be honest, Grealish started really well at Everton, but I think he hasn't done a great deal since.
He's gone off the boil a little bit, isn't he?
Cool. All right. My other one is probably one of the more obvious ones is Morgan Rogers. He's just been so clutch for Villa all season. Without him, I think their season would be considerably different than right now. And again, for England, long may it continue because it's Tuchel's decision.
But at the moment, I think he's got that number 10 spot.
You'd be hard
It's his to lose.
You'd be hard pressed to drop him.
It's
at the
between
moment.
him and Foden, isn't it?
Yeah. Because Tuchel doesn't seem to like Bellingham. So
Bellingham's actually got really good stats so far this season.
I'd rather play Rodgers over him.
Yeah,
I would not take him.
mind it.
I would not take
100%.
him.
Yeah,
but
100%.
I would start Rodgers in the form at the moment.
Yeah. So yeah, it will be Tuchel's decision making. I wonder if Tuchel is silently wishing that maybe he didn't quite have all these options because he's almost going to be like damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Because if he because he's probably going to have to drop one of those sort of 5 number 10
At the
picks.
moment, Palmer's
going to go. Yeah. But then if his form
But
does
then do
pick
you
up,
not take him because he's such a clutch player, Palmer?
Then who do you?
You can't have too many of the same
Yeah, you're
player.
going to have literally all the same.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting squad.
But if Palmer's form does pick up and all 5 of those players, or is it 4 or 5 of those players in that position, are all playing well, like Tuchel's got one hell of a fucking decision in his hands. Like that's going to be.
If he's got no strikers, maybe he'll have a few more.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I mean, could 1 or 2 of those play in more of a false 9, something like that? Shearer.
Caicedo. I think
We got the same list.
we had a little chat beforehand, have we? I think he's a hell of a player. I think he's one of the best midfielders in the league, and you can definitely tell when he isn't in the team what Chelsea are missing. Top-notch player.
Dan?
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but like Royfs. Roofs.
Oh, the keeper
The
for
Sunderland
the
keeper.
Magnums.
Keeper.
Yeah, I think they've been solid at the back. I think he's been like a statue in a good way, not just stood there.
A picturesque.
yeah,
statue,
no,
I
he's
think
been
he's
very
been
good.
really good for Sunderland.
Yeah, Lee.
I've gone for Ewan Timber. He's been brilliant for Arsenal this season. Another one.
Bearing
the
in
back
mind,
who's been very consistent, and he's chipped in up top as well.
ACL injury was it last season?
Mm-hmm.
So to come back and play as well as he has done, and for a large degree, keeping Ben White out of the team as well, who's their
He's gone off
mainstay.
a cliff, isn't he, Ben White?
Yeah.
He's had a few injuries, I think, this season, but he's not hit the same heights.
By near.
Okay, well, we've kind of done 3 or 4 each. There might be some crossover. I've got Phil Foden on my list. I think he started the season quite slow. I thought I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to find that form again. I thought maybe I didn't think he was going to be a busted flush, but I didn't think maybe he'd ever reach those heights again.
We were having that chat, weren't we, about whether he's actually going to get back into the England team and everything.
He was really good in the Club World Cup, and then the season started, and he was a bit poor, a bit slow for the last few first few games. Sorry, and then all of a sudden he's
back at it.
He's back again, yeah. I mean, there was that moment where for quite a while, Man City's second top scorer was the Burnley centre back for them 2 own goals, and now Phil Foden, I think, is on about 7 or 8 now. He's really put the accelerator down. So yeah, he's playing really, really well. Yeah, any more on the list?
I've gone for Voltemada. I think there was a lot of.
I'd have been shocked if you didn't have at least one Newcastle
I
player
think
in
we'll
there.
let him off this one. I think this is a fair one. If he'd have said something like Fabian Schär, I'd have shown him the door.
No, he's not on my not on this one. No, I think there was a lot of pressure with him, especially with how the Isak saga went on, and he did need to hit the ground running. And I think he's shown that he can lead the line, and his goal compilation at the minute is
especially his
thing
headers.
to watch. Can you just not let me have this one, please? I said Granit Xhaka. I've had a balanced view. Please. Yeah, no, I love him. Big Nig energy.
Dan?
I've got an Ekitike.
Yeah,
I think
it's a
he's
good
been
shout.
unreal for Liverpool. Even in their sort of shit vein of form, I think he was still the sort of shining light for them. And if anything, the signing of Isak has kind of impacted him in a negative way.
Yeah.
So, I think now that obviously Isak's out of the way, I think he'll get quite a few more goals, to be honest.
Look, now Isak's out the
Isak's out the
way.
way.
Like he's been assassinated. I'm going to put the picture of you in the ghillie suit with him. being
So that
injured.
reminded me of the Family Guy meme where the horse has got the broken leg. And
Yeah.
I'm okay.
So-
I'm okay.
Lee?
I've only got one more left on my list that hasn't been said, and that's Semenyo.
Yep.
He had a bit of a
Menus on mine as well.
3 or 4 games where he went a bit quiet, but the last couple of games he seems to pick up again.
Yep.
And he's pretty much carried that team.
Yeah, I had some honourable mentions. I had Dominic Calvert-Lewin in there, but I was going to put Voltemada in there, but I knew you'd have him, so I put Calvert-Lewin
I
in
almost put him on my list, but I thought it's only really been like
He's had
3
like
or
2
4
games.
games. Yeah.
there. Scored in the last 5. Literally told you the stat about Mark Viduka, Dan. Pay attention.
Did you see his 2 goals against Thingy, though?
What was a goal, mate?
The ones of the weekend. One that rebounds back.
They literally dropped right in front of
But I
him.
still think that he's not just his goals, his all-round play for Leeds has been very good. He's holding the ball up, he's working hard, he's staying injury-free, which is key for him as well. So I think he deserves a mensch. The only 2 other honourable mentions I had that haven't been said was Declan Rice. He's been very good for Arsenal.
Declan Rice was on my list as well.
And also
Garnacho.
no, Igor Thiago from Brentford. I know
He's a
gone
penalty
I
merchant.
know he's gone
Yeah,
off
he
the bo-
loves a
he's
pen,
gone off the
doesn't he?
boil a bit
Because
in
they haven't had
recent
any
times.
penalties.
Yeah, but I do think he's had a good season for them. Any more?
I had Jordan Henderson on my list. I think he's been quite good.
Get out.
I think he has been good. I think he's been very solid.
No,
not
no,
as
been recently.
Yeah, but you can say that about a few players, like I said
Yeah.
with Semenyo and stuff as well. But they've still had a fairly good start to the season. I think he's similar to Xhaka for Sunderland, but he hasn't done it as much at the moment. The only other one I will probably, I say probably the only other one. I've got 2 more, both Newcastle players. Malik Chow, I think, has been very good for us.
Okay, that do.
And
About Harry Wilson.
and Bruno Guimaraes, I think, has taken it another level. I think he.
I've got one. O'Reilly.
Nico O'Reilly, Man City.
Broken into the England team. They signed Ait Nuri for like 50 mil, and he's kept him out of the team.
Yep.
He doesn't even get subbed on for him. Like O'Reilly plays 90 minutes every game.
Yeah. I suppose the other one, if I'm not Van de Ven,
No.
he's
No.
kept Spurs in games a lot more.
He scored a really good goal this year, but that's probably the only thing I remember.
I mean, there was a couple of games I saw where he was like a one-man wall, and I appreciate that like, he's still on the losing team and whatnot, but if it wasn't for him, I think
just
like,
'cause he's
Spurs'
rapid,
games would have
though.
been so fucking more bad than they were. Yeah, I'm happy to be overruled on it. Because
Not
he's a
having any
Spurs player.
Spurs
Yeah.
Kilman, he's been good. Good to watch.
Callum Wilson, good player.
Next week we do the top 5 worst
Comedy
players,
gold.
and I'll just bring out 11 West Ham names. So right, there we go. Well, as always, I've played around with the audio filters. I think I've got a handle on it. Looking at everything before we started, it should be
Donald
good.
Duck, yeah.
All like helium. Sort of.
So yeah, hopefully it sounds okay. Make sure you like, commenting, and subscribing, all that good stuff. Whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're listening on Spotify or iTunes or someone like that. There will be some changes coming to how the podcast is released in the new year once I get a proper handle on how everything is done and the editing process. We've also got LMA will come out on Wednesday again. Are you available on Wednesday this week? Oh, it's fucking Christmas Eve though, isn't it? Not ideal. So
Yeah, no.
there may be a miss next week then. If that's the case, that's fine.
Come
Did we
slag
not-
us off for our predictions.
Yeah, we did catch some stick for that, didn't I? Our tragic predictions, as it was called. Remember that, Dan? Right, the YouTube comments.
Oh, yeah.
Called our Sunderland prediction tragic.
I will say I predicted them to win.
Yeah.
I've done pretty well the last few weeks as well.
Not this week.
Yeah, but the
yes,
trouble
it's
is,
good.
I put
no.
because I don't put your like if you don't do the video. I don't
Yeah,
put
it's
you
not
on,
in there.
Yeah.
So it's only me and Dan.
But
so
I
think,
put 1-1. I think
and
that's
I
a
put
fair
1-0
prediction.
Newcastle. So it's like I predicted a 5-0
It was only
Newcastle.
you that went 4-1 Newcastle.
But
And he
I
didn't
think that's
even
gonna
see that.
that's gonna happen though, isn't it? It's my team. I ain't gonna put Sunderland to beat us.
So make sure you give us all a like. We have also got a new series coming
Didn't wanna
out
watch the
between
footy.
between me and Shearer, that should hopefully come out in the next week or two.
Pez Master League.
Yeah, indeed. So we'll have that all to come. But until then, thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Always
Happy
a lad.
Christmas.
Oh yeah, Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Christmas.